Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hey, this is Jackie Cation. In this episode of the Jackie and Laurie Show, I say that Carmen Lynch is opening for me out at Flappers Claremont, and that is not true. I like Carmen Lynch, but it was Carmen Morales, you guys. And as long as we're correcting things, why don't I tell you that her boyfriend, Ron Placone, Placone, is also a comic and a very nice man. And Carmen Morales, very funny. And if you want to follow Carmen Morales online, it's at The Funny Carmen, Carmen. Sorry about that, Carmen. Thank you.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Hey, welcome to the Jackie and Laurie Show.
It's morning again.
You got to stop talking to me when we're not on a podcast. You started a sentence. I was like, don't.
This is how Bob and Tom weren't friends anymore. That's what I want. I want us to be friends. Why can't we just be friends?
You're right.
And then we can just talk and then we can talk some more.
You're right.
Yes. Let's be friends.
Okay. So what were you about to say?
The Woody Allen thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that he responded to the Cannes Film Festival, what his son said.
What Ronan said?
Yeah, I guess...
Ronan Farrow, who I have a very age-inappropriate crush on. Oh, my God.
Is that his son?
Yeah.
And is he a comic?
No. He used to have a show on NBC.
Okay.
MSNBC. And his birth name was Sage, or Patchell. Wait.
Patchouli? What was
No. He was named after Satchel Paige. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
He was named after one of the first African-American baseball players.
Okay.
But he changed his... I guess he just wanted to disassociate with Woody Allen, so he changed his name to Ronan. And he took Mia Farrow's last name. He's fucking fine.
And Ronan, you know what a Ronan is? It's a rogue samurai.
Oh, God.
Welcome. Good morning.
You know what?
Good morning.
Minute 2.
Not even.
And I want to
Not
go.
even.
I want to go home.
Don't go home. Let me tell you about the history of Japanese samurai. No,
okay.
I won't.
No,
Anyway. So.
Okay. We'll get to.
There was a joke at Cannes that someone made a crack about a Roman Polanski.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The French comic who. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was a clickbait title that I just clicked on, fell for it. They said Woody Allen responds to comment about his son and rape and all this stuff. And so I click on it, and all Woody Allen was incredibly well played, by the way, because all he said was, "Yeah, I don't believe in censorship." It was kind of funny. I see what he was saying.
Oh, about the joke. Well,
about the joke.
Ronan wrote an article for the Hollywood Reporter about
about being attacked or something.
Well, how his sister was raped by Woody Allen, and no one seems to give a fuck, and it doesn't hurt his career whatsoever.
Right.
And people are still working with them, and if Woody Allen calls, I'll sign up.
Right.
And then a French comic, a totally separate incident, made a joke at Cannes, with the opening at Cannes. So
right, and it was a Roman Polanski allegation.
It was it was kind of a little clunky, but he's fucking French, man.
Right. It was.
I'm just glad they think in joke structure since they've been only exposed to Jerry Lewis for 50 years, right? I'm surprised he wasn't bugging his eyes out of his head. So yay,
a little more mugging,
set up punch,
more mugging. Yeah. So what else? All
right, you gotta talk me out of just being a jealous asshole because I can't take this. I can't. Okay.
Why are you jealous?
All right. Okay. So All right. So we talked about last week.
Yep.
Oh, I hate myself. I don't want to. I don't want to watch other people's careers. I don't want to be that person that's like, well, I did it too. Why isn't anyone paying attention to me? But I am. I'm that fucking awful monster that I don't want to be.
Right. Well, but the thing is it means you are human.
No, it's ugly. It's ugly.
No, it is not attractive. You are correct. I am so sorry. In other news, who has something you want?
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong has something you want, which is the accolades of being pregnant and doing stand-up comedy.
Yes, thank you.
That's what she's got.
Yes.
Well, it turns out, What my favorite thing from there are two things that happened on Twitter after last week's show. One person said, "Hey, Laurie, did you ever do stand-up when you were pregnant?"
Then by the way, within 2 seconds, I had steak knives in both hands and I was stabbing a doll just very hard. I have a straw-filled doll in my house that I just start to stab at occasions like this.
Well, I was like, I think as
my heart rate's already going
as
up.
we get to know each other, I'm pretty sure you did. I'm pretty sure you did stand up while you were pregnant. I'm surprised you didn't do a set while you were birthing.
Probably conceived while he's doing stand up.
I
was getting fucked on stage,
and also thinking about stand up. And then while you were like, how can I work this? Is this a new 10 minutes?
Yes.
Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
I used to, when I was pregnant, visibly pregnant, I would, if the audience was heckling or talking or something, I would be like, shut up or I'm going to abort this baby and it's going to be on your head. Like I loved it. It was so
There's
fun.
great pregnant jokes.
Oh my
There's
God.
so many great...
It's such a special time to do certain kind of jokes and you can never do them again, you know?
I want that on a pillow.
Probably
It's a
cold
special
wine
time.
to your glass, like, oh, I'm going to drink. I'm going to make it. I'm going to kill it. Oh my God.
Oh my
yeah.
God,
I
that's
mean,
hilarious.
okay. Yeah. It's just, and I was okay with it. You know, I thought, I tweeted about Kira and Lisa Landry because I remember them right off the top of my head. Kira has a special out now.
Right, with 7 months pregnant.
7 months pregnant as well.
Yep.
And it's her second baby too.
Right.
And Lisa Landry did her
She is
Comedy
fertile.
Central Presents when she was like 6 months pregnant.
And when was that?
Long time ago.
And that was a long time ago.
Like, yeah, because her kid's the same age as my kid, so like
Right.
10 years ago.
Yeah. So it's happened.
It
Yeah,
has happened.
It's not blowing
And
why is it blowing people's mind?
Yeah, it's really. But it's like this is going to keep happening my whole life. But
What about
I don't want to be like this. I don't
No.
want to be angry at
the thing-
anybody.
Right. There's no reason to be just because. What do you get? I mean, it doesn't serve anything.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But
then,
it is.
But then. Okay. So what you said? There's two things.
Oh, the other thing is so you guys insisted, and why do I drag Kyle into this? But you guys insisted I tell the story about getting my period in between first and second show on Saturday night, and so the next like 12 seconds later, there's some weird Twitter thing. Is like that's why I like her because she doesn't, and I was like I'm not. And it was me, Kathleen Madigan, and Wanda Sykes were all tagged in some horrible a guy named.
Don't bleep it. Don't even give this motherfucker.
Okay.
Bleep it. But keep the story in, but bleep it so he knows
gets
if he's
no
listening
tag.
that you get fucking nothing from us.
Right. And so so this guy, so he said, well, you don't tell jokes about your period. And I said, I didn't want to read that. And he was like, you don't tell jokes about your period. And I was like, oh, now I want to. Now all I want to talk about is my period.
Oh,
I want to
God.
talk about how I first learned about it and, me going into the menstrual hut and me going out into the woods and making my own first tampon out of leaves and twigs.
even though-
Fuck you.
I will take those knives I usually stab on my straw doll. I'll stab my own vagina to look like I'm having another period, just to back you up.
Right. So anyway,
Well, you know, and then, okay, so I was okay.
What else is happening?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I felt like I did my due diligence. I said, here's 2 other comics that had specials.
Oh, yeah.
To anyone who fucking gives a shit or pays
Yeah.
attention, which
Yeah.
is nobody. Okay. So then, like yesterday, I think, I got Bonnie McFarlane, another
yeah.
mother.
Yep.
Very funny. Tagged me when she was... There was a Vulture review of Ali Wong. And so she tagged me and
now you
Tammy Pescatelli and Carrie Louise and a lot of other comics who have been pregnant throughout. Karen Bergreen, I forgot she wasn't tagged on it, but Karen's had 2 kids on stage. And Frangela, right? Both of them, I think. But I know, I forget which one, Frances or Angela, was pregnant while we were all doing Best Week Ever. Like you could just see it happening, you know? Just the total ignorance of all that, and then ignoring history, which is really frustrating. But there's this quote, and I haven't watched LA's special because I don't want to deal with these feelings. I wish they weren't here.
Right. I don't want to watch anyone's special. Is that okay? I see so much stand-up comedy.
I know.
While you look that up, can I tell
know.
you that I went to
Yes.
lunch with a comic friend of mine, a guy I love with the power of the sun. He said, hey, I have a set, Flapper set. Would you watch it online? And I said, no. No, I said here's
my
what you
God.
can
What
do.
kind
You
of-
can
how-
you can tell me you can do the
Not a
set at
friend.
me. You can do the set at me right now at lunch. I will listen to you do 5 minutes at me, and I'll try to punch it up, or we could talk about how great it is, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to fucking click a link and watch a set. No.
Yeah.
Not a noob. Not an old. Not my mother. Fuck
Yeah.
you. No. I don't. First of all, through the television is ruined. Right?
Yeah.
It's already a disconnect. Remember the old Emo
Right.
Phillips joke?
No, what?
To watch stand-up comedy, you should always see stand-up comedy live, because to watch stand-up comedy on television is like incest, where you're giving up quality for convenience. Anyway, Emo Phillips, you guys. Get out there, the finest writer in the world. Anyway, go ahead. So-
Another Woody Allen joke in the show. Okay.
So
I'm reading
Ally
through
Wong,
a
Vulture.
correct screen. Okay. So this is a quote, which I haven't seen in it, and there's context that could be added to this, so I'm missing it. But this may be
the most
what I
maddening
am.
thing.
It's very unrare and unusual to see a female comic perform pregnant, because female comics don't get pregnant. Try to think of one. I dare
What?
you. There's none of them. Once they do get pregnant, they generally disappear.
Who is this person?
Allie.
No. Who wrote the fucking?
This is a
This is a-
quote of Allie's from her
Oh.
special, where she's setting up a joke about
okay.
about the general, which I agree
Okay.
with, which is like, we're not interested in you once you become a mother because we can't jerk off to you.
Right. Or it's inappropriate.
Yeah, but that setup makes me want to crawl into a toilet and
Or
flush
eat a
myself
bullet.
down
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I mean, that's just her setup.
I
So,
know,
yeah.
I know,
So I'm sure that there was a
but
very
I
funny
feel like
punchline that came after that.
I was erased.
Right.
I was erased. I'm
You-
taking this
yeah.
very personally,
You are
and I
taking it
shouldn't.
super-
and I
yeah,
sh-
you
and
can't.
it's okay. So I'm
Yeah.
just telling you. I understand I'm
But you gotta
crazy,
vent. You
and
gotta
it's
vent.
ugly, and I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be
Right.
fucking reading Vulture.
at all, ever. Right? No. It is. Yeah. That is. It's too bad. And the thing is, she could name several people, and it's just.
Why would you slow down your special by naming people that everyone ignored because they weren't interested in it?
Right.
Why would you
Right.
name anybody? All the people I
The
just
5 people
listed,
you
that,
just listed.
that you guys probably know, barely know, or don't know because no one gave a shit.
The first comic I saw who was pregnant doing stand up was such a great line. She'd take the stage.
Yeah.
It's back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the first thing she said was it was Colleen Cruz in Minneapolis. Yeah, remember her? So she
I
still
don't
does
think I ever
stand-up.
knew her. She was
Okay.
like she was like you, and that she existed in a parallel universe. I
Total
never
parallel
worked with
universe,
her. Where is
right.
she now? Is she still doing stand up?
Yeah, Minneapolis doing stand up and did radio for a long time. And then
cool.
her kids are grown up. Her daughter works for like CAA or something
Yeah.
as an assistant, but lives out here. And,
Yeah.
But Colleen, pregnant, I think, with her second child.
Yeah.
Literally would open every set with, "So I put out." And that was, by the way, that was her only joke about it.
Oh, that's great.
Because it was much like your period or anything
Yeah.
of these other things.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to talk about it.
Yep.
You acknowledged it,
Yep.
and then you moved on.
Yeah.
Because to some extent, you felt like it wasn't that nobody wanted to hear about it, but you felt like nobody. You were like, I don't want to burden anyone.
You're chasing laughs, and if people aren't
tighten
laughing, they don't want to hear about it. Then you go on to your next thing.
And
so
now that's over, by the way.
Now
I
that
will
we're
force
too old
those.
to get pregnant, now the crowds want to hear about pregnancy. And you know what? When we're 70, they're going to want to hear about menopause.
Exactly.
Like, we're fucking 20 years ahead of whatever the crowd wants to hear.
We're like those guys who went to Korea. They don't get the they don't get the
What are you
respect of the
talking about?
World War II vets.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Remember those guys?
Oh, I'm angry
Nobody does
for my
remember
dad
those.
now. Now I'm
Exactly.
angry again. For my dad, the silent
Korean-
generation,
the
the
that
Korean
was it.
conflict. It wasn't
That
even
was
a
it.
fucking war. It was a conflict.
Exactly. You don't get PTSD. Yeah. Those poor bastards. Anyway, so I did. How about sets? Did you have good sets this week?
You talk.
Okay. Many things have happened.
Okay.
Many things have happened this week. Let me tell you, first of all, I'm grumpy because a really old friend of mine came into town, and I have shows at Flappers in Claremont this weekend. And I love to do stand-up comedy, and and
Claremont's a fun room.
and it's a fun room, and Augie Smith is opening, who should be closing.
Yeah.
And
Why, he just wants to
and
work shit
Carmen
out or
Lynch
something?
is
Oh my-
emceeing.
What the fuck? That's the best show ever.
It's a great show. It's
my
a great show.
God.
And then James P. Connolly did
Yes.
a guest set last night.
Oh, my God.
And TJ Chambers is going to do a guest set tonight. So it's a super fun show. But my friend
Jesus
from college,
Christ.
who I haven't seen in 3 years, is
Yeah.
in town. And I'm like, I don't fucking want to go. So Grumpy Magoo is grumpy.
Why
And,
do you have a friend that's not in comedy?
well, because she was
They
there at
ruin
one of the
things.
she
They
was there
ruin
at one of the
things.
first. She came to one of the first shows I ever did, and hilariously, she was like, "Yeah, there's something there." It's very supportive
All
and
right.
could give a shit about comedy. Anyway, so she's very nice. But I did. Have you ever? This is the thing. You were like, save it for the show,
Right.
Because first show there was a woman. Every setup, she would whimper.
I had that last night too. Go.
The sad lady going,
Aw.
aw, yeah,
Aw.
yeah, with the rising on the end.
Yeah.
And I snap.
They fucking kill a joke when they do that.
They kill a room if you allow it to continue. And so I said, you got to stop that whimpering. Otherwise, because these jokes,
I'll have you removed.
I almost,
I'd rather have a drunk than a whimperer.
me too. Always. And so, like, I'm 30 minutes into my set and she started again. And I guess I might have said, I will come over there and punch you in the face. And it shut her up again. And but the thing is, I was kidding. Obviously, I'm not going to punch anybody. There's no hitting.
I don't think that's obvious.
There's no hitting in grown-up land.
I think you would punch
that's
somebody.
obvious?
No, I don't think that's obvious.
No, I would never. There's no hitting in grown-up land.
Right.
I could take a punch. I don't know why I'm proud of that. That's not okay.
Now
either.
we're talking about your dating history.
No, I think I'm talking about my childhood.
Oh.
Not my dating history.
No.
Speaking of dating.
No, but can we talk about the whimperer again?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's last night.
Please don't do that.
Yeah,
Just
those people aren't
shh.
listening to the show because they already. It's
Yeah,
all,
what is that?
Okay, so I did a show. I'm not gonna because I think people. Okay, so this show I'm talking about is a group of women's rights group that they do good stuff for women.
Yeah, benefit.
Here's what I think. I think they spend all day getting yelled at by Christians, and so
Right.
they're just very earnest, and they spend a lot of days, all hours, listening to people's stories. And so when they come to a comedy show, they're still earnest and wanting to help everybody, and please let Bernie Sanders win a primary. You know, they're in that mode, and then they hear you talk about your kid, or talk about your half Mexican kid, or you this
Right.
or that. Oh, it's like, no, I'm fucking raising a kid. He's fine. He's
Right.
not dead. Everything's okay. All right.
This is not a hobby. I have
Yes.
written a joke.
And not even on punchlines, on setups.
Setups.
My mom lives with me. Oh.
Laurie Kilmartin is on fire this morning, you guys. There's
I'm
a
not
lot.
on fire. I'm
You're-
just angry and agitated.
You're alive. You're
and
alive every
gross. I'm a gross, jealous, disgusting little person who can't get enough attention. And no matter how good my
Why
life
aren't we
is,
hanging
I
out
want more.
Why aren't we hanging out more? That's what I really ask you. Because who doesn't want to hang out with this all the fucking time? Jesus H. Christ. So I did the Comedy Store last week.
Oh.
And I did something called
Aw.
Aw. Exactly. Well, that is.
Can that noise be the name of our podcast?
Whenever I go to the Comedy Store, it's all of a sudden I'm on the road at a Red Lion in the middle of Nebraska, and I get super aggressive.
Okay.
And it's much more tough, right? And there's a bunch of backward baseball cap wearing haircuts that
Yeah.
I judge before
Audience or- okay.
audience and before I get on stage. And so I did this thing, stand up on the spot, which is like set list, except for it's more of an improv thing where the audience fucking yells shit at you. And then you have to write jokes.
Comedy has come too far. It's come. No,
That
it
could be
needs to
the name.
regress a little
Comedy
bit.
has come too far. Well, and the thing is so, and it's a bunch of Comedy Store guys who I don't know.
Yeah.
They're Joe Rogan-y kind of, or somebody named Redman.
Oh
Somebody.
yeah, he's Brian Redman. I think he's part of.
He was
Rogan's-
funny.
Yeah,
He was really funny. Some
Rogan's
guy
team.
named Tony. Yeah, a lot of guys.
Wow,
You know.
you're giving me too many clues, Jackie.
Let me tell you something. They were changing lives. Anyway, I might have remembered their last names. Redman actually was very funny, but it's almost
Yeah.
impossible because they're yelling shit and you have to come up with something on the fly.
Yeah.
So I get up and I'm the only woman on the show. Eric Andre was there, and there were a couple other men who weren't white, of various degrees of not whiteness.
Right.
But I was the only woman, and I texted. I was like, "Hey, hey, I can never find any parking. I'm already late. It looks like you keep adding people to this. Do you really need me? And the kid running the thing was like, yes, please. And because I was the only, and he was like, park in the back, Doc will let you park. And so I park in the back.
Did you park in the women's spot? Is there like a pink parking curb for the one female comic working
ribbon?
at the strip? I mean, at the store that night. Here's where our female comic parks.
That's it. And what it is it also comes with free tampons. And so, I park, I go in, and I go up, and they're yelling stuff, and I'm doing what I can with it. Somebody, by the way, yelled out marriage, and I said, I got 20 minutes on that. That it wouldn't be fair for me to talk about my. How about divorce?
Was that a woman trying to help you out?
No, it was a dude. Weirdly enough, it was. I said divorce, and then a woman went, yeah, talk about that. Which was hilarious. And
so some people are so lazy they're not even shouting out their own topics. They're like, yeah, do that one.
Yeah, where I have to come up with the topic anyway, so why don't you let me work on my new weirdo bits?
Yeah.
So off to the right, all of a sudden somebody yells out a name. And I was like, why is that name familiar? And then that person yells out, Minneapolis, 94. And I look over, and it's Doug Stanhope, and he has yelled out a sexual indiscretion of mine from 1994.
Yay!
And I was
Stanhope is back in town.
I know. And I went up to him afterwards, and I was like, are you really in town? And he goes, no, this is not real. And I was like, fair enough.
I think he's here for a little bit. I ran into him at the Improv.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
wearing a sweet suit.
Oh, he had the sweetest
the red
jacket
and
on.
white jacket.
Oh, this thing was like peach.
Oh, that guy knows how to shop.
That guy. He looked
Sartorial
super
style.
Splendor.
Yes.
He looked great.
Yes.
But it was so funny because it was a night where a friend of mine was sleeping with Doug Stanhope, and I wanted to sleep with Doug Stanhope.
Yeah.
So I slept with his friend.
That's how you
the
get
story.
to Stanhope?
No. It was clearly, as Tina Fey has said, a genius is not sexually transmitted. And so, and what's funny is that probably 15 years ago,
Yeah.
Doug Stanhope, we're both at the Improv bar, and he yells across the room, hey, did you ever sleep with Matt Becker? And I said, I tried. We were both too drunk. And he said, oh, no, you didn't sleep together? I said, all I remember of that entire...
This is a bar conversation?
Yeah,
Okay.
across the bar
Sure.
at the Improv. And
Yeah.
I'm yelling back. I was like, all I remember about that guy is he had a long, well-shaped penis. and Doug goes, oh, I'm calling him. That's an excellent review. That is an excellent review.
Could that be the name of the podcast today?
I thought it was going to be...
We can't.
Okay.
That'll be a tag.
Okay.
It will be a tag somehow. I don't know how you're going to make that happen.
There was something
Kyle.
else. But yeah, so, yeah, I didn't... It was funny because I tried to do something about how you want to sleep with, like, the geniuses on the road. But
Yeah.
luckily, the geniuses on the road never wanted to sleep with me. And I look back on that, and I'm so happy that those guys never wanted to sleep with me. Or they didn't know that I wanted to sleep with them.
I do
don't
have
the
one
greatest
fond memory.
of sleeping with someone that you thought was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't. I have, because I didn't, that was literally, I think I tried to sleep with 2 male comics.
Yeah.
And neither one of them worked.
Their
I mean,
penises?
No, well, that
Or
is,
the comics?
no, the comics worked like gangbusters.
Oh, okay.
But no, there was just, we were just all
Oh,
too,
the
too
relationships
drunk.
didn't work.
No, we were all just too drunk
Oh,
to
I
do
see.
anything.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you know this, but I drink all of the booze that is in front of me. And
You
so by
used
the
to
end
be,
of it,
I can't imagine you. You used to be a hard drinker.
hard drinker.
Yeah.
It's literally my last drunk was 11 shots of Rumplemans and 9 beers.
Way to go out.
Way to go out. And then get in a car, Jackie. Why don't you drive over Laurel Canyon?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then the cop stopped me and he said,
That's my nightmare is facing somebody like you on Laurel Canyon. I'd rather.
And well, you ought to be. Because the cop was like, ma'am, have you been drinking? And I said, a lot, but I'm good.
Oh, my
That's
God.
what I said to the cop. And he was like, wow.
Did he
step out of the
Did he
car?
arrest you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad. No offense.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah. Why not? I didn't kill anybody, so that's
Terrifying.
the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my nightmare with my son. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. So, do you know any comedy jokes, by the way? Last night we were
I can't
talking-
remember any. Can I tell you? Oh,
Yeah,
so
please.
this morning I was like, well, I should just stop bitching about this pregnancy thing and just
Right.
throw up some clips of myself pregnant. I mean, I
yeah.
did do Boys in the Hood, the Showtime show. God
Okay.
bless you, Kyle. That's
okay.
No, you had 2 little sneezes when Jackie was in the middle of a long penis story. Of course, I wasn't going to say God bless you
But
during that. I
gesundheit.
needed to hear every detail of Matt
Every-
Becker's junk.
God don't make no junk.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
go.
then I found one this morning that from when I was like 7 months at Acme. I was at Acme.
Oh, cool.
Well, it probably wasn't the best crowd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because they weren't mic'd, probably.
I don't know, maybe. It was like
Because I'm sure you killed.
their uphill
Oh, I hate
camera.
that camera.
Where,
That's that rooftop camera.
Yeah, the rooftop camera.
That old rooftop camera
but a
before
lot
they
of
got rid of it.
felt dated. Like I was...
Well,
So
your son is 10 years
Yeah,
old.
so it's a 7-year-old, but 10-year-old material. But it's also like how quickly comedy just feels old.
Yeah.
It's scary. Like I was, talking about. I was just using the word retarded nonstop while I speculating
Right,
about my fetus.
right.
Which now, I still think it's a funny word, and it's so dumb that
Yeah.
I like it, but you can't. Every time you use it or you hear someone use it, then they do
They have
one.
to
They have to go
justify.
1 minute of I'm not. It's like okay,
Yeah.
just go to
find a
developmentally
different-
disabled or something
find a
like
different
that.
word.
Yes. So
The same thing with
But
the
I was like-
N-word. The N-word used to be so... No, I'm kidding. Now I have to spend like a minute and a half going,
so
you guys,
dated.
I know black people.
So it's like my kid's not retarded and I was worried before because on early sonograms he was wearing a helmet and laughing at a Robin Williams movie. Like on 2 levels, I can't post that joke. I'm going to hear from developmentally disabled activists and
super
Robin
sad,
Williams
real
fans.
grab Robin
but
Williams
Patch Adams had just come out. I mean, I was fucking justified.
That is justified. By the way, great joke. Great joke. Nothing wrong with that.
Thank
Because
you.
who doesn't want a in utero helmet watching Patch Adams? Who doesn't want that image? I want that image. That's hilarious. That's a fucking great joke. Yep. Do you know what else?
What?
It's been 3 weeks. Remember, we've gone at least 3 or 4 episodes since a male comic or someone in the industry has done something
Angered us?
horrible.
Okay. Oh yeah, you texted me that. I'd never
texted-
heard of that guy.
No. Well, I've never heard of him either. Some road dude. But he's a Comedy Store guy.
Okay.
And the only other story I've ever heard about this guy, this is a Comedy Store lore. I don't know. We shouldn't say his name, right? Because we don't want litigation.
Sure.
Sure. Whatever.
Do you want to write his name so I can chime in with authority?
That's his name. But
This guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
that guy.
all right. I thought you had
Yeah.
another story with
no,
somebody
it's
else.
the same guy.
Okay.
It's this guy. He's a road comic.
Okay.
And he's a store regular.
Okay.
And he's sitting around, I guess, with Tom Rhodes. And they're across the table from each other, and some young comic keeps coming
I
up.
love Tom Rhodes.
I love Tom Rhodes.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with Tom Rhodes.
Okay,
Tom
let's
Rhodes
not
is good
impugn
people.
Tom
At
Rhodes
all,
in
just
any
'cause
way. He's so
we
funny
all know
and so
dirt
great.
bags. We all know dirt bags.
But that's not Tom Rhodes.
It's not Tom Rhodes that we're talking about.
to
We're
be
talking
clear.
about, right?
Okay.
His name's Mike something.
Okay.
Anyway, so the Mike something and Tom are sitting at this table. Kid comes up, starts doing material at him. New comic.
Yeah.
And they're very polite. They're as polite as they can be.
Right.
And then finally, I believe Tom says to this is the lore. Tom says to the kid, "Hey, we're just trying to have a conversation. Good luck. I hope you get a set and go off.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to leave." And so the kid leaves. Comes back in like 10 minutes and starts in again. And I guess
Did he write a new chunk?
he must have written a new chunk in that 5 minutes. So he comes back. He's like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you the tag or whatever."
I'm calling it back. I got some callbacks. Sit down, guys.
And I guess Tom, and who knows if this is true, this is hearsay. Tom supposedly leaned to the mic guy and said, "I will give you $20 if you punch this kid." And before he said in the face, the mic guy stood up and punched him in the face. And then the mic kid,
Well, now I gotta give him props.
yeah. It's funny. It gets funnier.
Okay.
So the kid goes to either Tommy or Adam, I don't know when this happened, the booker for the Comedy Store, and narcs on him, right?
Right.
And the booker goes, "Oh, that Mike guy? I can't do anything about it. He's a regular."
You gotta love that kind of loyalty. That
I
is
fucking
omerta.
Love that story.
Oh, my
from
God.
A horrible road kind of
Oh, my
Comedy
God.
Store kind of angle.
That's great.
In other news,
Yeah, you don't snitch to the booker about another comic. You go on a podcast.
and then bitch about it.
Yes.
Mike Veneman did that to me. He's dead. I can talk about him. I did. Mike Veneman, road dude. I'm featuring for him
I don't think I
at
ever worked with
Spaghetti Works in South Dakota.
Yeah.
In the late 90s.
Yeah.
And I am working on this chunk that isn't funny, it turns out. But
Yeah.
the audience hated me already. I
Right.
was up there eating it for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
TikTok, they got to pay me $100 if I do my time.
Yeah.
So I'm up there and I do this joke, and the joke is, I'm sure there's something there. I've never been. I said I would rather be called a cunt than a bitch, because I don't know what cunt means, and I know exactly what you mean when you call me a bitch. So that's the premise. There's no punchline.
Yeah, I see why that's a problem in South Dakota.
In
it's very
1997?
religious. Yeah.
Yeah, I get off stage.
No one's cool on. They're not.
No,
yeah.
they'd hated everything.
As
They
soon as
hated
you
my
say
sales-
cunt,
No,
they
no.
stop listening to
They
your
hated my
joke.
salesman chunk. They hated my dad's stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't like any of it.
Okay.
So it didn't matter.
Did you open with your cunt joke?
No.
Okay.
No, I did it 25 minutes in because I was
that-
like, fuck these
at that
people.
point, yeah, exactly. It's punishment.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
we
like-
all have bits like that.
Exactly.
You're gonna hate me. You're gonna really hate me.
So I get off stage, and Mike Veneman says to me, that's the one word you can't say on stage. You can't do a joke about cunt. You can't say that word. And I said, it's one word you can't say. You don't have one. and so he is like, no, it's one of the words you can't say in stand-up comedy. And it's 1997, and you can't until later, and everyone does now.
Yes.
The British made it okay.
Yeah.
Or something happened. But
Yeah.
get this, he narked on me to Mueller. To Ken Mueller, to the Booker.
wow.
Yeah. And then I burned that bridge also separately.
Wow.
Anyway, but it's not entirely.
That was only
Mike
the
Veneman's.
non-one-nighter he booked, though, right? The rest of it was all
It was
one-nighters.
oh, right,
And
that
then
was the
Spaghetti
weekend room.
Works might have been the
That was the
sweet
weekend.
room in South
Exactly.
Dakota.
I was doing
Mike-
good C rooms. You
How did
guys.
how did Veneman die?
I didn't kill him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he
I
died.
wasn't accusing you. Why would you defensively
because you
respond
think
immediately?
that I punch people. No, well, here's my thing: is I believe he passed away. Had some sort of heart problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry for your loss, everyone who loved Mike Veneman.
The road will do that to you, man.
Yeah, because all you're doing
some
is
road
eating
guys,
taquitos.
and you're doing a huge amount of driving, especially if you're doing Mueller gigs and stuff like that. It's not good for you. It's a limited time only, and then you need to be flying in private planes. You need
Lying down,
Yes.
sleeping flat,
You
being
need
on a
to
plane that has a
become
shower.
Ron White somehow immediately. You need to.
Nope. Yeah, so then this Mike guy, I guess, asked some woman out. It's on Mike.com or something like that. It's a big story.
Okay.
About how
MIC.com.
Yeah.
He doesn't own the
he does-
URL Mike.com.
No. See,
Okay.
he's just a road guy, and he's
Okay.
a store guy, and there's a funny story about him punching an open micer.
Okay.
And then he does a thing, because it used to be when a guy would ask a fat chick out,
Mm-hmm.
and that fat chick would say no.
Yeah.
I'm speaking about myself. And then you would say no to them because you didn't want to go out with that person.
Right.
And then they would say, you think I just asked you out of pity. You're just a fat chick. Why wouldn't you go out with me? What the fuck I don't want to go out with you anymore. You're gross. And they would say that to your face, and you had nothing to do with it except for to just go, wow, I just said no, thank you. I'm gonna fuck off now.
Yeah.
And but it would all happen like face to face. It would never. So this guy Mike asks this fat chick out.
Yeah.
Who is a fat chick? Poor thing. Anyway.
You know what?
But
Not
get
poor
this,
thing.
Not at all.
She's
Not at all.
herself.
Who? Fuck you, Mike. Because here's what happened. He asks her out. She via text, by the way. When are we going to go out to dinner? And she responds and says, "You know what? I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong impression. I don't actually want to date at this time, or whatever."
Right.
And he then sends like 7 meanest, that kind of fat comments to
Yeah.
her, with the last one calling her a pig. And
Wow.
but the thing is he's done it via text. He isn't doing it face to face, so
Right.
he doesn't get away with it, right?
Yeah.
She screenshots it. She puts it on her secret lady Facebook thing.
Yeah.
With her friends, who then post it to somebody at, I don't know. I'm surprised it's not on Jezebel or whatever, or Vulture or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Splitsider, because now and it just happened yesterday.
If she's not a comic, right?
She's not a comic. She's just
Okay.
some lady, just some perfectly nice woman who didn't want to go out with a dude, and then a dude it just got super, super exceptionally mean, and now and my favorite thing in this article, the last thing he says is, "I don't know why her publicly posting this thing makes her the victim." Because and by the way, all hacky fat jokes. Keep writing, brother.
Oh my God.
If you're going to be mean,
He's a store regular, you're saying?
he is a store regular, so there's that.
And he's doing hacky fat jokes? That's shocking to me.
It is a little shocking. The audience, by the way,
that's like losing control when at a heckler. That's like you can't lose your control, and you can't if you
do,
whatever
and it is
your
filmed, you are
gross,
screwed.
yeah, inappropriate rage at a woman is for
not
not
going
out with you.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
keep it together, man.
Yeah, you
I
can't
don't
do
know,
that.
right, Kyle? There you go, nodding from Kyle, who's a good person.
That's more of a That's he happens
But I
to be a
don't-
comic, but
Yeah, I don't.
guys are some guys are just
guys
horrific.
can be gross.
Yeah, horrible.
I
Even
mean,
now,
I don't hang
like,
out with. I don't hang out with any of them.
No
but,
better.
Yeah. But I do love. But traditionally, you wanna say your weird, hacky stuff to the person out loud, and then if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna take the time to write something,
Yeah,
write something funny.
yeah.
Just keep writing, Mike. Is what I guess I'll say to that.
He will send us some well-crafted tweets. No, the Justice Department is looking into discrimination against women in Hollywood. They're looking.
Oh, are
yeah,
they?
not the Comedy Store yet, but
Okay.
they totally could.
The actors.
They post
Actors get it
evidence
first.
every week when they put up their lineups. Here's what you could use against us.
But what I love about this show is that every 4 weeks we can come up with some complete weirdo in the entertainment industry who has done something monumentally inappropriate.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, that happens. I would love. I mean, it isn't really news.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh that it's news. And it's good that it's news because some people don't know that it happens.
Yeah, there's like this slow awakening, and like if I had a granddaughter, I'd be like, oh, it's going to be awesome for you,
Or better.
There's
It's
going to
gonna be a
have
lot
been
better.
one or two female presidents, people,
Yeah.
women will be treated as people and not as freaks. And
Anita Hill, that Anita Hill. Did you watch? Did you
I haven't
see
watched
that?
it.
I only heard about it. I refused to.
Let's
'cause-
critique it.
Let's talk about it. Let's have an opinion about it without any information. It's one of the things I'm good at. But she was like, I mean, I feel like, don't you think that was like the first time that sexism, like Strom Thurmond, I think, said to her at one point he was like, well, did he ever say, if you don't have sex with me, I'm going to fire you? And so she had to say no. And then he said, well, then I don't know what your problem is.
God. And Strom Thurmond was having an affair with his very young African American.
But for 40 years, so
Yeah,
she wasn't
like
young forever.
No, but I mean,
But he was 100.
They had a baby together. It was she was like a maid or something like that.
He was
in the
channeling
house.
Thomas Jefferson.
Ugh,
He's a horrible person. Strom Thurmond. He's also dead. I didn't kill him.
It's, but like whatever rage I feel, and I don't know if you feel. You seem less rageful about things that are happening than I am. Like, it's not fair. I want my due.
Right.
By me.
No, I don't care.
You don't?
No, I get what I get. That's the whole thing. Is that I spend a fair amount of my time reminding myself that my lot in life is amazing.
I know.
Right.
Anita Hill be listening to us and going, "Oh, you feel you've been ignored? Really? Tell us all about it." White lady, female comics.
Right, I'm sure Hillary Clinton not getting into Princeton because she was a woman is like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The thing is when Hillary
Right,
Clinton was
right,
first running,
yeah.
I was like, she irritates me. I don't like her very much. But every time someone shits on her, I love her to death right now.
Yeah.
I want that look on her face, like when she was being interviewed by the Benghazi people and they didn't have anything on her.
Yeah.
So they just kept talking to her and trying to wear her down like Chinese water torture.
Oh God, I know that board.
Oh, I love that look on her face.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I fucking love you. I love you with the power of the sun, Hillary Clinton.
That was the
Because every
best.
time somebody shits on her, I'm just like, more Hillary. I just think she's hilarious.
There's this, I don't know if we have conservative listeners.
Who cares? Vote for whoever you want. I don't care.
But
Bless you.
God bless you, Kyle.
But here's
but there's this rumor, Elizabeth Warren hasn't said no, and I was like, oh fuck, like
did you just come? Jesus.
Yep. If
I don't want that. I don't actually want that ticket. You want that ticket?
First of
Ben
all,
Glebe really
I have
wants-
a picture of myself with Elizabeth Warren, so I want that fucking ticket.
I think Elizabeth Warren should be the great second woman president. I don't think.
I think even
There's
if
any number of-
Hillary gets elected and it's 8 years, I don't think. I don't know. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know who I want? Al Franken.
I like Al Franken.
I would-
That's another rumor. That would be kind of amazing.
But it's all northern.
You know what?
So-
I don't think that shit matters anymore. Why would a New York a real estate developer from New York City be getting Mississippi?
True.
It doesn't matter anymore. It's like,
Yeah, maybe it
how
doesn't matter.
racist are you? Are you
Right.
racist?
Are
You're
you
going
racist?
one way.
Oh, then
If you're
gonna
not, you're
enjoy
going the
Mr.
other
Trump.
way.
Oh my God! I talked to my dad. I forgot to tell you, my dad left me advice
Okay.
about stand-up comedy as a voicemail.
Okay. Play.
Jesus H. Christ! I don't know if
You're
it'll...
so excited for an excuse to look on your iPhone during our podcast. I bet this is akin to Donald Trump and his John Miller phone call. It's your voice leaving you a message. She's not listening.
No, I'm not. Wait a minute. So I'm going to back it up.
Jackie, this is your father. Jackie walks out on the stage. Everyone applauds. Jackie says, "Thank you for your good taste." I think that's a great way to warm up the audience.
I love you,
Oh
Dad.
my God. I love the pauses.
He's waiting for laughs. The thing is it's what he's doing, and he's talking into a microphone.
It's like he took a comedy class and was told to pause for laughs.
Oh, when
Okay, go ahead.
the script, the pitch script for, like, I have listened to my dad pitch. He used to, I was his audience, and
Right.
he would pitch when he sold mausoleum crypts. I had to sit through an entire pitch about mausoleum crypts. I was 14.
Wow.
It was a lot.
How much were they? Like a whole, like a pharaoh like tomb.
No, it was
Okay.
just a drawer.
Oh.
he would sell drawers.
Okay.
In a mausoleum, yeah. And so, and the only line I remember, but he would read from the script, and the script. I mean, here's the thing: people say, "Where do you get your comedy from?" I get my timing from my dad, and I think I get my comedy from my stepmother, or my dead mother. Who
Yeah.
knows? But
Do you have audio of your mom? Your
passed
do you
away
say real mom or dead mom?
I say dead mom, which is dumb because my stepmom's also dead now. I didn't kill any of these people. This is the theme of this show: is Jackie doesn't kill people or punch them in the face. But yeah. So my biological mother, who is all of our biological. I mean, I don't know, Anne
You know what
Ryan.
Okay, here's what I like. When you say that, I think, oh my God, if I died now, my son would be like my biological mother.
Yeah,
You know,
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is harsh.
I want the fucking full credit.
You ain't right.
I bet your mom does too. Your
She
biological
might.
mother.
I picture
It's
you-
like, hey,
Hey, I was your mom.
I
Except
did
for-
all this.
Exactly. Yes, you. I picture her in this is the heaven for Anne Ryan Cation.
Mm-hmm.
Is a heaven for Anne Ryan Cation. Does not have 6 children under the age of 10.
Oh God.
She has a cigarette and a beer, and she's saying, "Oh, look, it all worked out. You're good."
Hey,
And, yeah.
I have Ryan on my background too. My great grandmother was a
Because
Ryan.
you're super
Emma
Irishy.
Ryan.
You're all Irishy.
Yeah, but we might.
We might
Ryan
be
is a
related.
very uncommon Irish.
Is it?
No, it's like
Oh my
what-
God! It's like Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Cation. No, I'm kidding. But how hilarious is that? Because he's like, he's got lots of advice. I mean, it just means he's sitting around thinking about how I should pitch my set. And it's hilarious because there's no, and weirdly enough, I almost do that. Like if I'm ever,
Yeah, that sounds very Cation-y, very quick aside.
it is a quick aside, but I never say it on stage. I say something like that. Like if I have to scooch by people,
Yeah.
and I usually just, or if I have to go through people in line, the one riff I do, it's Andrew Thompson compared it to Jay Leno yesterday. I was like, well, I too wish to be liked, I guess. You may compare me to Jay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that makes Andy Kindler hate me. But it's but the thing is I say it's dumb, but I usually just say, you've chosen wisely. I'm very funny. And then I just walk through the crowd.
That's
And it's just
what
it's just
that's
an aside.
basically a variation of what your dad just.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
is the funniest thing about my dad, because my dad is always 85% right. And he said something.
That
he was-
15% hurts though.
Oh, it's brutal. In the 90s, he told me that I should get things printed with my name on them and throw them into the audience. And guess what? I have stickers now that I give out after shows. So he is correct, but do you know what he wanted me to print?
Huh.
That's where the disconnect comes.
Yeah.
He wanted me to print painters' caps.
Oh my God.
Remember
How expensive.
painter's caps?
Yes, totally.
They don't even have them anymore, do they?
I don't think so. They're useful though. They covered your neck, right?
No, they covered your hair when you were painting.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
a
very
baseball
useful.
cappy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck, do you know who Chuck Montgomery is?
No, who's
he's a
that?
comic. We were doing a triple run together, and we were late You know, we were like driving really fast in Montana. I have a very, you reminded me of this memory.
Yeah.
And we're on our way to a gig. I think we're on our way to the Copper King in Butte, Montana. Which was.
I've heard of it. I've never been.
A fun gig.
Oh, good.
And I
love your love of shitty one-nighters.
I probably picked him up at the airport, and I think his plane was late. He was coming from Arkansas or some other state.
Like small, yes.
And he did a joke. No, okay. It must have been later in the week because I'd seen his act, because he has a joke about his act. This is why I remember his name. He had a joke about Montgomery,
Okay.
Alabama. He was from Alabama.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. So I forget the joke, but he's like, that's how they remember you.
Oh,
You got to
right.
have a joke about your name. And I came up with one.
Right. Well,
You know?
I mean, and you know what? Someone must have told me that too. What's your joke about Laurie Kilmartin?
My Kilmartin is an Irish last name that means Church of St. Martin. It also means if I ever marry Charlie Sheen, my name will be Laurie Kilmartin Sheen. Wow, that's the whole fucking laugh? I hate her.
Why must
I don't
we hate?
like you, and that's why we only
No,
talk on the
because
podcast. Guess what? It works.
There's a reason. Fine. You want to be Bob or Tom? I
want to be
say.
Chick McGee.
I have this to say is the name jokes are always, that's the laugh you get. Watch, I'll tell you mine, and you too will just go, oh, I get it.
No, now that you've dared me.
You're gonna laugh your fucking head off? Is that
No,
what I'm hearing?
I won't.
You
Go
won't
ahead.
because it's just it's cation like vacation, but no vey.
Oh my God.
It's horrible. See? So whatever. It's just a pun. That's all it is. But people remember your name.
No
and
vey. Yeah. Oy
right?
vey.
Or staycation. That's another one. And you're like, stop talking. Stop talking, Jackie. Are you still talking? Shut up. And
Isn't
Jesus
that a
Christ.
description?
Yeah, it's the dumbest. I'm not. There's no. You got something, Kyle? You got a Clark?
No, I never did a name joke.
Never a name
I have
joke.
The most nondescript white guy name in the world.
Kyle Clark.
Cog.
Get out there and see Kyle Clark, you guys. Hey, do you want to talk about
It sounds like a murderer's
the comic
name.
of the week? That's you.
Yes. Oh, Jody Miller. I love Jody Miller.
Right.
She's great. She's very funny. I had never worked with her until I came to LA. She's another one of those where she fully formed, fucking headliner, really, really funny. And I only met her out here, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Red
Because
hair. Very funny.
Very funny.
Jody, Jodi Miller. Look
Miller.
her up.
Look her
Really
up.
nice. I'm like, why don't I know you? Why didn't I
Right.
know you?
Why aren't we friends?
Why isn't the Justice Department looking into this situation? Female comics don't even fucking know each other.
I want that to be somehow the name of this episode. The Justice Department.
Very vexed today.
We're the Justice League.
I feel like the mother in Pride and Prejudice. I'm just everything's upsetting me.
You have 5 girls and try to get them all married. Anyway, so this is what happened last night at Claremont that made me laugh.
Yeah.
We were sitting around. I was sitting with Ron, which is, dang it, I can't remember his last name. Comic. And he's Carmen Lynch's boyfriend. This is a classic thing that only...
Funches? If she's going other Ron Funches, that would be amazing. No?
She is not.
Okay.
He's a young man. He's got red hair, and he's very nice. You know, this usually happens to women comics who go out with male comics,
Yeah.
and then they can't remember the woman's last name.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry, Ron. But we were sitting around and we were telling jokes, like comedy jokes.
Yeah.
And he told me 2 jokes. It was I can't even. There aren't that many jokes about like how many comics does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh, sure,
You know
right.
that one? It's
No.
it's 3, 1 to screw in the light bulb, 2 to ask how long he's been up there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, but he had 2 that I hadn't heard before, and one of them was about a comic who was on death row, and there
Vince
was
Champ?
no, he's not on. I think he's still in.
Yeah.
he's still in jail. But Google Vince Champ. I'm not telling his
He's a
fucking story.
rapist.
He's horrible. Anyway, so but he there's 3 people on death row. One of them's a comic, and the before they're killed, the sarge, the prison guard comes over and says, "What do you guys want for your last meal?" And the comic goes, "We get a meal?"
Love it.
I had never heard that one. And then somebody said, "How do you turn 25 minutes into 45 minutes?" And somebody said crowd work. So I don't know. That seemed funny as well. But the only one I know that I really like is the two comics who die and go to heaven, and they're
Yeah.
in line with St. Peter.
Yeah.
And St. Peter, there's somebody in front, and St. Peter says to this guy, "Why should I let you in?" And the guy goes, "Well, I'm a fireman. I've saved a lot of property. I put out a lot of fires." And St. Peter's like, "Go on in." The next woman goes up, and St. Peter says, "Why should I let you in?" And she says, "I'm a nurse, and I've saved a lot of lives and comforted a lot of people." He's like, "Go on in." And the two comics go up, and St. Peter says, "Why should I let you guys in?" And they look at each other and they go, "We're the comics?"
Oh my God.
And I had
I've
forgotten.
done that a million times.
Right,
I
I'd
just did that
forgotten about
last 2 nights ago. I
nights
walked in
ago.
at UCB. Can I help you? Oh, I'm the comic. Oh, okay. Go
on
right
in.
I'm so used to saying that.
That's all you say. Just say that. Matter of fact, if you just want to get in free, I guess. That's what we're here for. Just go, "Oh, I'm one of the comics." What I always say at the Virgil is, I'm in this
And you
one.
probably will be one day.
Yeah, because everyone is.
Yes.
Everyone's trying stuff. Somebody said that they were trying. Two people tweeted at us and said that they were going to try stand-up comedy because of us.
I hope it went awful. No, I do
No,
for
I want
their
them-
own personal lives.
Oh,
you
so that
don't
it didn't
want this.
kill?
Yes.
I asked if both of them would let me open for them.
Did you ever do? Nicole Blaine has the
No.
Breaking a Virgin show.
Oh, I did do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot her
I'm
last
just
name.
like,
Yeah.
if God loves you, you're gonna bomb miserably and never want to do this again.
Right, you will
Because
continue to be a lawyer.
It's that first. Yes.
Remember that woman? We
Yeah.
did that show together, I think.
Oh yeah.
She was a lawyer.
Yeah.
I was like, "You have a job. You're good."
Oh, I know. I had lunch. Sometimes I'll have lunch with people. They'll go, "Hey, you want to have lunch?" And we'll do it like
Yeah.
at Warner Brothers on a lot. You know, people go on
nice.
a lot. Sometimes the people have never been on a lot. It's good to go on a lot and get familiar with it, right?
Sure, who doesn't
If
love
you want to be in show business.
Steam travel.
What?
Steam
No, I mean,
table food.
What?
You're just so defensive about being on a lot.
I'm on a lot. Don't be jealous of me. I'm on a lot.
So much like
Someone is like,
compensation for that.
"Why does Laurie Kilmartin get to be on a lot?" I've been on a lot. Is there going to be an article on Vulture about how?
Wait a minute. You guys are totally misreading this. Stop high-fiving each other. You're teaming up on me. Against me.
It's all we have. Anyway.
No,
you
because
went out
it
to
sounds
lunch.
like a shitty thing, but I'd never been on a lot before I
doesn't-
came.
Right, it doesn't sound like a shitty thing to people who've never been on a lot. They're like, well, that's
You go,
kind of
oh,
neat.
that's the fake New York City. I see.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's like fake
The first-
Chicago. There's
First
fake.
time I was ever on a lot.
Yes.
Me and Jennifer McClain, my roommate at the time, I was literally playing an airport cop on Murphy Brown. And so it was after shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and Jennifer came to the lot. And then I was running down a hallway, and Lily Tomlin stuck her head out of her dressing room and said, "Where are you going, Jackie?" And I
Oh
said,
my God.
"Gonna go look for famous people on the lot." And she goes, "What am I, chopped liver?" And I stopped, and she goes, "Nope, keep going." Which is one of the greatest showbiz stories ever, I
But
think.
you know what? I think if you're a comic, the first time you're on a lot, you don't want it to be when you're doing Conan or
Right.
when you're doing something. You want to have been there before and not be like, oh my God. You know,
I saw a tour of Conan before I did Conan.
That's great.
And it helped.
totally. Yeah, go be in the audience. Go with a friend who's doing Conan if you can.
I
just
stood
to
on the
be-
mark even. This was a year and a half before and I had never done any late night. Conan's the only late night I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I stood on the mark and I was like, and I forgot who I was talking to. Dana Eagle? I don't know. But I was standing on the mark and I said, "This is me practicing, universe. This is me practicing for me when I get to be on this television show like a noob, like a total dork." And guess what? It worked out. Turned
Yeah.
out. I've been on Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
It's pretty exciting.
My point is, before you two just
Derail.
destroyed my intention with your evil interpretation of every word I say, is that
Who's taking
I
it?
met on the lot with
Yeah, who'd you
somebody
meet? Yeah.
who's like a trained opera singer who wants to do stand up. I'm like, oh my God,
You're an
you
opera
have a real talent.
Hey, does she
Why
want to be
would
on the
you
Dork
do
Forest?
this?
I've never had an opera dork on. I would love.
I forget her name.
We'll hook it up. We'll
Okay.
figure it out. Because I would love. I've never had an opera dork on. I've been trying to schedule a ballet dork because I don't know shit about stuff. So, hey, are you gonna go to the Pantages? Did you get season tickets to come see Hamilton with
I
me?
didn't.
Okay.
Why are they all sold out?
I don't know.
I didn't.
That's fine. But I'm going in a year and a half. Going to see Hamilton. It's going to be pretty great. I don't know why
I
I
like
brought
to
that.
plan that far in advance.
Right. Well,
something
it just means
always
I'm going
goes
to live.
wrong.
It means I'm going to live. Where are you? Where are you doing stand up this week?
I don't know.
I'm going out with Maria.
With who?
With Maria. I'm going out with Maria, and then next month I'm going out with Brian Regan.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm going to get to watch him do, I think, 2 shows.
Oh, that's great.
It's the most educational. I was thinking about him the other day, and I'm like, he is the Captain America of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
That guy, he's just so
funny.
So funny.
So nice. And not like he's a regular guy off stage,
yeah.
you know.
No, I don't mean to canonize
normal.
him.
Yeah.
But he genuinely, I've never seen anybody work on
he
being
want
a
to be up
decent
here
person.
bitching about a Vulture article.
He
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
care. Would he
That's
he-
what
he
you're like,
might,
oh,
though.
Lori,
He's
you're
human.
human. No, I'm not human. I mean, other people are better humans. I'm not a good human.
Well, you're working on it.
Yeah,
That's what I like about it.
I do my artist web pages. You should see my artist web pages the last week. Oh, you can't imagine.
Please snapshot.
Oh
Go
my
on Twitter
God.
at AnyLaurie16 at Jackie Cation. So I'm doing Charlotte and Nashville, and both of those places have these weird laws. But
Yeah.
Nashville and Charlotte are the only places that don't care if you're an LBGT
Right.
Ute,
Yeah.
and what bathroom you want to do. By the way, Andy Ashcraft came up with the greatest idea.
Yeah.
It should just be a bathroom, and it should have a number 1 on it, and then you
it's
go
me
through it
for what you're doing.
Yeah, you go
Oh,
through
that's
it, and then
great.
you go, and then the next door is a number 2 on it. You have to go through the number 2 door to poop.
Oh, that's
And
perfect.
it'd be
It
hilarious.
should be shit or pee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Why not? And then, so
I think
we're doing these.
That's
towns.
revolutionary.
Somebody in New York, I think I told you this. Someone emailed Maria and they were like, "You should cancel those shows because of that thing." And Maria was like, "I think this is a no-win." Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen had just canceled or something. And so what we're doing is we're going to do the shows and we're going to donate a portion of the profits
That's cool.
to the Ute, the
Yeah.
LBGT Ute.
That's
and then
nice.
everyone's going to get to see Maria do stand-up because then she also got emails from people going, "Hey, I was going to bring my trans son,
Yeah.
and that now we're not going to get to see you." And she's like, "Let's just do stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
and you
if
can have some of my money
Springsteen had donated his money to
something."
yeah, that would have been
and Charlotte,
probably better.
The reason that North Carolina is in a tizzy about this is that the city of Charlotte passed a law saying it was okay.
Really?
And the rest of North Carolina lost their collective tiny lizard minds.
Yeah.
And so they lost their minds. But Charlotte's like, "We don't care. Go to the bathroom." And
yeah.
And there's how many trans people have you met in your life, by the way?
How would I know? I'm not that perceptive.
You don't have a trans radar? I don't
I don't
either.
think so.
I've had 3 people who've announced it. They've been pretty psyched about it.
I know a few. There's a few comics.
I know 3.
And
In 3,700 years of being alive, I've met 3 people.
when I was coming up in San Francisco, I used to work in the Castro all the
that's
time.
right. You
in
lived in
the
San
late
Francisco.
80s, early 90s. And
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember if people were trans or they were just dressing as women. There
Or
was some
drag
kind
or
of hype.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like fascinating.
plenty of people.
And I remember there used to be this competition called the Miss Haight-Ashbury competition.
Yeah.
And just, every lunatic, if you
Yeah.
entered,
Yeah.
you're in it. And I remember I was like 200 and something. I was trying to like make myself feel better about myself. So I'm like, let me enter and this have fun. It was before I was doing stand up.
Okay.
And I was just this Walnut Creek, had a mental breakdown, quit swimming, gained 60 pounds
Okay.
and all that stuff. And there's like these drag queens that were so good with makeup. And I'm like, they're better.
that how
they're
they-
better at it than me.
So
Like
much better.
And they're. It's almost like observing women makes you better at that, or makes you understand women. Which goes to my point last week. If gay male audiences, I think they have a special affinity for us that even we don't have for ourselves because we're in it too much.
Right,
And we're
right.
subjected to all. We take personally all the. You should look like this and you should look
Yeah.
like that. If you're one step removed, the step being your.
A man.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you can superimpose it over, and
Yeah.
you can see a palette.
But it was I remember I was like in a dressing room with all these drag queens and we're all doing our makeup and they were helping me and I was
that's
like,
awesome.
oh, this is crazy.
I need a team. I have to tell you, there's a great line in Hedwig, and it's something like, "If you think that only a woman can love a man," and it's something like, "Buy me a dress and watch out." And it's such a great line in
Yeah.
Hedwig. I think it might be in Origin of Love. I don't know what song it's in. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. But yeah. So, but I'm not.
I'm going to Bridgetown.
You're
in
going to Bridgetown?
Portland, yes.
Awesome.
It's the first week in June. I'm there. I'm doing sets Friday and Saturday night. I don't know where yet.
Yeah.
But if you're in Portland, come check me out.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that callback I told you about it?
Yeah.
that they.
Oh, that worked.
It worked, but it's not a chunk ender.
Okay.
Which I was kind of relieved about.
Yeah.
So I have to write another way. I need another way out of it.
Yeah.
And there's this other chunk I'm working on where I'm trying to do stuff before the chunk about my son being
Spanish.
teaching Spanish, and it's almost like whatever I'm trying to. Do I not have a good enough joke, or is it the audience when I say my son is half Mexican or half Hispanic? Is it wide audiences going, "Ooh, what are we doing?" Like I almost need to do a real fucking quick joke just to break the tension. And I have 4 in rotation, and none of them are quick.
Yeah.
And whichever one I put first kind of takes the hit, and then.
Okay.
You know
so
what I mean?
You're just rotating, and you're
I'm rotating.
You need a 5th, is what you need.
I need a 5th,
kind of.
and I used to have. I have one that I did on Conan, and it's on my album, and it's done, and it's super quick. But I don't want to lead off with it anymore. Obviously, I need a new lead off joke.
I don't care that it was on your last album. I once because my jokes are sort of storytelling.
Yeah.
And they tell, sometimes I have to repeat jokes on albums, and I've gotten a complaint. And when I say I've gotten a complaint, I mean one complaint that fucking gnaws at my brain. And
Sure.
it just sits there like a spider in between my two globes.
Well, it was your dad.
And it was my dad. No, but it was Crazyville is that they're like, why would you tell that joke again? And I'm like, because I am a well-kept secret in show business, and they haven't heard my previous
You're
two
the only
albums.
one. You're the only one that's bought both.
Exactly. You're the only one who's bought both albums, weirdo Magoo. And so why don't I set it up so everybody knows where I'm coming from? So I think you can do that until you write a new joke.
I want a new joke because I want to do this chunk on Conan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I also that joke too is now starting to feel dated, you know?
Well, I'm
So-
working on this new album, but I was too chicken last night to just do entirely the new 45. The 45 that's not recorded.
In Claremont, yeah.
In Claremont, because it was Claremont.
Yeah.
And there were, and the second show, they were tired. They were nice, but they were tired.
Friday.
Friday,
Maybe second show tonight.
Second show tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
And anyway.
And then
I'm looking
just
forward to it.
if you do the whole 45 and it doesn't all
brand-
work, okay. You could do like an hour and 15 or something.
Yeah, maybe I
Fucking
do a
send
new
the MC
30 in the middle.
Send Carmen Lynch home.
It's TJ Chambers doing a guest set tonight.
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
All right.
This was actually really fun. So everybody, Jackie and Laurie show, if you got a T-shirt idea, everybody keeps asking us for a T-shirt idea.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. Yeah, a lot of silence. That's what it would be. How about that?
How about just a giant red shirt? Just
With nothing on it.
yeah.
Just a silence.
It's called Between Two Shows. And it's a red shirt that's dedicated to you. All right. Bye.
so brutal.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.